Well, good morning. It's Chief Yancey. I was going to take a few minutes this morning and cover a couple more features in CrewSense. One of the most common questions I've gotten in the past couple of days is how do I view my schedule, or how do I view it for long periods? So it does view a little bit differently than what we're used to with Fire Manager. So with CrewSense, you've got a couple of different places where you can view your schedules or what you're scheduled for. So we're going to cover those real quickly. The most convenient and easiest way to see just the first upcoming shifts that you're working is to go to your home screen, and this is in the phone app. And from the home screen on the right side of the page, there's a little calendar with a checkbox, and it says upcoming shifts. So if you'll click and hit that button there on the home screen, it'll bring up your next 10 shifts, and it will show where they're scheduled at and for the amount of hours that you're working that day. So you can see it's got all of my next 10 shifts scheduled out. That's the first place you can look. If you want to see a little bit more and you want to see who you're working with, or see how it coincides with the shift itself, or if you want to look at more days than just those, you can go back to your home screen and you can pick between two different views here. You can do the view roster, which is in the top left of the screen. Looks like a light blue calendar. So you click on view roster, and this shows the whole shift. And then you can scroll down through there and you can see who all is working that day. You can see at the top of the page, it's got the date, which is Tuesday, August 20th. It's got the shift, it's got the activities for that day. And then also I've recently added the 28-day Kelly cycle, so you can see what the time frame is for those Kelly days, so you know how far we are into the pay cycle. If you want to change the day, you can jump at the top. You can see a whole week at a time. You can see a different day. You can jump to the next B shift, or if you're on an A shift, it jumps to the next A shift, and then C shift, and so on. And depending on what shift you're set on that day, it'll jump to the next one. You can use the arrows in the top right to go back a day or forward a day, as many days as you want to. Or you can use the calendar itself right there, and you can jump to a specific day. With this view, it's pretty straightforward. It's probably the most common one. Everybody's used to seeing this one, or the list view that we're going to look at here in a second. But then you can just scroll down through here and you can see where you're scheduled. You can see who all is scheduled off. You can see who's scheduled on trades. You can see who's at each station. And it just shows a whole overview of the day. So we'll go back to the home screen and we'll go to the list view, which is in the center top of the screen. And it's a little cleaner. Again, it lists the date, and then you can jump, either skip forward or backwards a day as many days as you want to, or you can jump to a particular day by using the calendar. It shows the activities for the day, and then it shows the units and who's scheduled to those units and what hours, and so on, and then what kind of time they're working. So that's a little bit cleaner view. Again, this is only a small picture of your schedule. And so this next view is probably the one most everyone is going to be interested in for looking at their schedule for long-term or planning. So they call it the day planner, is what CrewSense calls it, or personal calendar is what I'm calling it. But you can look at it. You can find it up here at the very top of your screen. And I will circle this one because this one's a little bit harder to see. You can see at the very top of your screen, right here, looks like a little calendar. So you'll click that, and it opens up just like a calendar that you're used to, whether it be your Google Calendar or very similar to the old Fire Manager calendar. But this shows a month at a time. And you have to kind of drag around through it with your finger, but it shows a month at a time, and it only shows the shifts that you are scheduled. So you can see all my schedules there. And then, like I said, when you get down here at the bottom, you can see the 28-day cycle. It starts on the 12th, and then it runs through, of course, to the next month, and it runs through to the September 8th. If you want to change months, you go to the top of the screen here, and you change the months, or you can jump to a specific day. And see your shifts. For our part-timers that work full-time somewhere else, if you will go in here on this calendar, and let's just say you know that you work a specific shift and you're not going to be available for those days, you can click on that day, unavailability, and you can set the period. The reason doesn't really matter. We've got a lot just unable to work. You can put notes if you want to. And what this will do is this will take you out of callbacks for that day, unless we do a forced callback. But if we don't usually do forced callback for our part-timers, that's for our full-time and our resident employees. So, but this will keep it from bothering you on days that you may be working at your full-time job. You won't get a notification from CrewSense asking you to work when you can't. So you will have to do that for every day that you are scheduled another job, or a time that you're just absolutely not available. That is, I'll look through here just to make sure I'm not missing. Of course, under Crew Scheduler, under the home screen, under Crew Scheduler, you can look at a couple of different other kinds of views. The view Crew Scheduler is what you've seen. You've seen the list view. We've talked about the sign-up board before. You can look at the roster map. It's kind of neat, but it's not really that beneficial to our department because of our size. But you can see basically the location of the people working that day in relation to the map. And so it drops them on a map. So it's kind of neat. With our size, it's not that big of a benefit, but I can see with larger departments it would be very beneficial if you were trying to trade with somebody, but they were working all the way on the other side of the city or something like that. So back to those views. I think that y'all have this view available. You can come down here to Other Calendar, and you can view Monthly Calendar. And this one's really, let's see what this one looks like. Yeah, this one's really confusing because it shows so much. It shows all the people, and this one may not be available to everyone except for admin. But then it shows all they're regularly scheduled for that month. So that's just another one. And then, of course, you can jump to any month and look at that. Other than that, that is pretty much, that is the best ways to view your schedule, and that's both in the app and the online desktop version. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to call me, email me, or text me, and I will try to put an answer out for it, or I'll try to put a video together for it if it requires a lot of information. So again, I hope this has been helpful. If I can do anything for you, let me know.